Beat up, bullied, and dunked on. Beat up, bullied, and dunked on. Bullied and dunked on. Let's get it. We only rock with Mavericks. If you a clone, then step off the canvas. Lest you get beat up, bullied, and dunked on. We gon' leave you beat up, bullied, and dunked on. We said we only rock with Mavericks. If you a clone, then step off the canvas. Lest you get beat up, bullied, and dunked on. We gon' leave you beat up, bullied, and dunked on. Excellently, it was pressing to me. Descended from the parents, I inherited 3.
Welcome to the Kind of Unkind podcast, where me and my fellow idiots talk about things that we feel like talking about, and you're along for the ride. You're welcome. Today, we will be talking about parenting as the only actual parent in the group. Yeah. We're gonna find out what the guys know about child rearing. So, how are you all doing?
I would just like to point out that I have a dog, so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I also have a dog.
Yeah,
Basically the
I
same
completely agree.
You just have to put down a little bowl of food.
I
thing.
mean,
Also, and I'm pretty sure why I can back me up on this, I have autism, so raising myself is basically like raising a child.
you are a man-child. We will agree with that.
Thank you. Making me some chicken nuggies right now.
Ooh.
They're dino shaped.
Oz only eats off the kids' menu.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
That's where you get the best deals.
Mm. Yeah, but don't you have to eat twice as much?
No. When you're poor, you learn to eat sparingly.
You know, when at some restaurants, kids eat free on Tuesdays.
Oh, shit. I don't think I can pass for a kid.
Mhm. Yeah, he's a
They're
child.
like, why does
my-
your toddler have a massive beard?
Yeah, see, the height isn't the problem. I'm around the correct height. It's really just the beard.
You could shave, but I'd be horrified to see what lurks beneath that well-groomed beard.
Oh, like my penis, my chin is an innie.
Mm. Which is why you keep a full crop of hair covering both.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like when
Hide
Homer,
my shame.
yeah, it's like when Homer backs into the shrubs. You know, that's
You know what's funny? I did bust my chin open when I was a kid, so there's like a hole under my chin.
Huh. Like legit?
Well, not like there's a scar, but like where the bone should be, it snapped apart. So there's a little bit of a hole.
Oh,
You
like a
just
divot?
Are you just cramming your finger in there as you said hole?
I'm practicing my deep throating.
You have a
coming for you,
dent
Goku.
in your chin?
I
Oh,
do.
he's excited to hear that.
Mhm.
He's been waiting.
He's got the mayo lube ready.
Mhm.
Ah! Don't do that to me. Oh. All right. So how do you guys feel that you know about parenting? Like what's your skill level that you assume?
Out of
Oh,
what?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, is it out
10
of
out of
10?
I wasn't asking for a number, but I mean, if you just a general, like, do you think you're good? Do you think you know? Like
That special Mexican food cart around the corner, out of 10. That's where I'm at.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I make you moan while you're eating good.
that could be a 10,
Wow.
that could be a 1. I have no idea what the food carts.
And that's the way, I like it. You'll never know until you do. And then
Mhm.
it's too late.
I feel like I know enough to write a book, which is also incredibly vague.
Yeah. Although, depends how long the book is.
Because I mean, even Casey Anthony could write a book, but that doesn't mean she knows what she's talking about.
All right. Well, let's see. I have a list of questions. Let's start with My child is being bullied. How should I handle the situation?
My week was fine. Thanks for asking.
I did ask, and everybody started making jokes. So, how was your
No.
week, Oz?
Yeah, fuck your week, Oz.
Yeah, I did. The week fucked back.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Oh, wait.
All right. My child is being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
I teach him the way of the blade
Oh god.
and give him
Oh.
his first fedora.
Do you
That'll
teach him
fix
how to
it.
say "milady"?
No, that's what nerds would say.
Yeah.
Teach him how to say "my queen."
It's a
Oh.
sound technique. I mean, incels never get bullied. That's a well-known fact.
Yep.
Neckbeards are never bullied ever.
Yep, yep. We certainly have never bullied them personally.
I bully myself on a daily. Anytime I walk by my mirror and it's been a little bit too long since I've shaved last, and I see that beard creeping down to my chest hair, trying to lock up and transform me into Sasquatch, I realize I'm turning. Sometimes I'll look in the mirror, I'll be wearing a fedora, and I don't even own one.
That thin line that separates your neck from your chest is all that keeps you human.
Mhm. My hair fully connects.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like, it goes all the way down to my chest.
Yep, yep. It goes all the way around. It goes
You know
all
what?
the way down, and it curls underneath, and then it goes all the way back up.
And you know what? Like, the corner of my chin, or my jaw, both of those, like the hair goes to my back, too.
Well, under the ears.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I
fascinating.
am a hairy man.
You are a dwarf.
I do like digging the hole.
So just to summarize, your strategy to avoid bullying for your kid is make them a mall ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, the best case scenario for that is they become an actual ninja and kick the shit out of someone. But that's not gonna happen.
Fair.
They're gonna try it one time and just be, "Don't you dare hurt my queen. I will defend her honor with all of my." And then you'll just feel too sad, and they won't bully him anymore. Easy peasy.
Oh, that is quite the technique.
I think it all depends on who your kid is, the strategy you approach this with, because I'd like to think that all you do is you just start like delivering some good zingers back, and then you destroy the bully using their own weapons.
Oh, and so this is you trolling the bully on behalf of your kid,
Mhm.
or teaching your kid how to troll the bully back?
Well, you can't be seen to be trolling the bully yourself. You have to use your child as a conduit. You know, let them speak your words to.
Like Cyrano de Bergerac, that bitch.
I know that reference.
So what you're saying is, you're using your kid as a focus to cast vicious mockery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Exactly. Using them like a cleric casting a divine spell, channeling my will.
Now, what do you do when your kid gets the shit kicked out of him?
Well, that's why I prefaced it by saying you have to know your kid, right? Because yeah, if I had a kid, it probably wouldn't be a monster man like myself. So I don't know. I'd need to develop a different strategy. But you know, I do think the hit him where it hurts. Kid might take a beating, but as long as you take a beating like a champ, you might shove them off.
All right. What about you, Wyatt? What would you do?
I'd Kenshi that shit and just start beating my own child until they build up enough toughness to take on their bully.
That's fair.
Start kicking them while they're down, you know, but whole time telling them, "You get up, champ, you got this." But I'm like waylaying the shit out of them till their arms are broken. You know, just to cultivate them into a powerful, war-hungry being that can confront any enemy in my way.
Wow.
You know,
And
What
then
a-
eventually, my child will rise up to kill me, but that is a small sacrifice so that my child is never bullied again.
I was gonna say, but
You know-
what do you do when he inevitably says, "What about you, Dad? What about you?" After you burn him with cigarettes, and he has
Oh,
to go,
damn.
and he has to go to detention. That's just the plot of the Breakfast Club.
I start weeping and wondering where I went wrong.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
But he
Okay.
You know, weirdly, I feel like that's how I grew up.
like Bender from Breakfast Club.
I just vividly remember my grandpa looking at me like
No,
writhing
Dad,
on the
what
ground
about
one
you?
day, like in pain. And he's like, "You hurting? Yeah. Oh, good. That means you're still alive. Let me know when it stops hurting." Huh?
Oh no. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys scores.
Well,
Uh,
what's your answer?
Well, if I give the right answer, then we're not.
No.
idiots.
See, that's why I asked, because I knew you wouldn't give the right answer. You'd give your answer. That's a fundamental difference.
Oh.
You've already heard the right answer, but I'm curious what your answer would be.
Oh, I
Obviously.
see. Yeah, I would either there would be, it depends on the situation. If they're in elementary school, tell them to tell a teacher, because like I have had my kids bullied at the elementary school age, and what would inevitably happen is the bullies like goad my kids into doing something wrong, or they blame them for doing something wrong so that my kid gets in trouble. So, telling the teacher immediately is the kind of way to circumnavigate that, so that like the teacher knows that something is wrong.
So
Yeah, and then
turn your kids into snitches is Skye's advice.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's as fun when I answer because
No, it's fun.
All
Continue.
right, so hear me out. You teach your kids my level of golden riz, and then you make sure they use it responsibly. You make sure the next time the bully bullies them, your kid looks him in the eye and says, "You bully me one more time, I'm gonna fuck your mom."
wow.
And then let him riz his way through it.
Wow.
If it happens again, don't make threats, make promises.
I see.
And then his mom goes to prison.
See, I thought we were doing this from like as the actual parent, I give you guys scores based on your answer.
Oh,
Go for
you're
it.
you're more than welcome to. I just want to hear what your answer is as well.
Oh, okay.
What you
well,
think the correct answer is,
yeah.
even though you're wrong.
So we can go parents today.
No. Yeah, okay. So what I was going to do is give Sengoku 10 points and Wyatt negative 5,000 points. So
I don't get any points.
no, you were nice and steady, not earning or losing, but
It's not Wyatt's fault he wants to raise a winner.
Okay, how about this one? My kid gets easily distracted. What should I do?
I'm curious to hear from the ADHD community on this one.
You're surrounded
all of
by
us?
us.
Yeah.
Why, you want to take this one first?
So if my child is easily distracted, I reinforce actions that I deem acceptable as I would a dog. And anytime that my child is showing competency and allured attention to a variety of subject matters, I, give him or her items that are to do with these distractions so that their attention progressively veers back to the straight and narrow. So let's say that my child gets interested in just like staring off in the distance. Well, you give them something to stare at. So logically, I give them a handful of glass. I'm kidding. No, I take him into, let's say like a forest. We go to a natural park so he can look at whatever the hell he wants to, get lost into the situation. If my child, in the middle of me talking to them, begins luring away from me in the conversation, I redirect by not just vocal, but by physical representation, because children respond to your animations, your movements. So as an individual who suffers from these things, I would know you would move about when you're speaking. You would make sure that you are the central directive of their attention. And if they really won't listen, you shove them to the ground and you just fucking start beating the shit. I'm kidding.
Oh
No, you
were
make
doing
sure
so
that their
well.
attention is focused on you for that moment, but then you allow them to be curious. You allow them to direct their attention elsewhere at times that are acceptable. But when it isn't, you make sure that their focus is upon the conversation at hand. That is how what works best for me, and what I've seen work very well for individuals and children who are easily distracted.
No.
And then I'd fuck their mom.
Hmm.
As you should.
Well, seeing as it's your kid, yeah, I mean, if you're not fucking their mom, that
And I'll fuck their dad. Okay. Yeah, that's my position. How about you, Son Goku?
I mean, it's tricky because it's like I'm trying to think what level of distraction we're talking here. Because if a kid is distracted in school, that's usually because school is kind of like it's not set up to be stimulating. So it's kind of, it's not really their fault that school is boring. So if it's a school subject, I'd try and make that, subject a little bit more interesting. Trying to give them something that's actually like engaging to deal with and not just staring at some old dusty ass teacher just reading out of a textbook. If they're, distracted in day-to-day life, then that's a little trickier. That's when you gotta like do some sort of Pavlovian trick where they learn that if they pay attention and you ring the bell, they're gonna get something. You gotta give them a little carrot.
Mm-hmm. Jingle, jingle.
Yeah, incentivize them to pay attention. I mean, it's either that or just heavily medicate them and then problem solved, right? So,
Of course.
What about you, Oz?
So my 3-step plan comes in, and it's guaranteed 100% effective to work. So first, you ruin their life. No.
Oh, damn.
All right. So step 1, right? You pay attention to what distracts them, and you help them pursue what's distracting them. If it's a new hobby that they enjoy, help them pursue that. Obviously, they're getting distracted, so they care about the thing more than they care about the other thing. We'll work on the other thing later. If you care about that, we'll work on that. And we'll employ like a 35 situation where we do your thing for 30 minutes, and then we spend 5 minutes doing the thing that we need to do. 30 minutes on your thing, 5 minutes on the thing. Easy peasy. Step 2, if they're still getting distracted after I let them, embrace their hobbies and learn what they want to learn, I flank both of their heads with iPads that are constantly playing a GIF of me spreading my butt cheeks.
Oh,
So
no.
they can only look forward. It's like a horse. They can only look forward. And then I tie a carrot to a string, but the carrot is another iPad. And
Wow.
it has orders like step 1, step twice, turn left, turn right.
Wow.
And I turn my kid into an AI. And if that still doesn't work, we take the most drastic measures and we initiate the cyber protocol. We take my kid's brain and we put it into a robot.
but then it's just
Wow.
gonna be a distracted robot.
No, the brain is aesthetic. It doesn't actually do anything. The kid is dead.
So yeah, so your solution is murder your child and then get a robot. If it's aesthetic, you just killed your child for nothing and then got
I mean,
another.
the brain remains fresh. It's preserved.
Oh, no.
But for all intents and purposes, the kid is dead.
Oh no, you're right. Let me revise this.
No.
First, you kill your child, and then you desecrate the corpse to gather its brain, and
It's
then
like-
get a robot.
Look, I'd have the robot, and then my kid would be a silent passenger just watching from behind, not being able to do anything, but it can see what the robot's doing, right? Like through its eyes, like a prisoner.
Oh, so
Look, I gave him 2 shots, and he fucked them both up.
wow.
It's drastic measures time.
You-
Oh,
being John
goodness.
Malkoviching your kid. Great.
Wow. Okay. Well, what I would do? What was the question?
How do you murder your kid most effectively? I'm pretty sure that was it.
How to torture your child for all eternity.
Right?
Your kid's distracted.
Yeah. I was kidding, but so if your kid is easily distracted, you Wyatt's answer was actually really good. But yeah, it's about actually Sengoku's answer was pretty good too.
I'm sorry, my first answer was really good.
Now you just
And
have
normally they don't get past the first one, but
now you have a robot with a child's brain that's obsessed with looking at like gifs of your ass cheeks.
yep.
Oh,
And in
man.
10 years, when I feel like the kid maybe is grown out of it, that phase, I'll put the brain back in the body. I'll have it preserved.
Wow.
In like a Mr. Freeze scenario, I've got like a closet with like an ice box in it.
Oh. And they've
Listen, this is from a guy who just beat the shit out of his kid. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, for real.
But
Yeah.
100% effective to work.
Yeah.
You can't tell me my kid isn't gonna be focused.
Sorry, Skye, you were saying how many negative points you're giving us.
Right?
I feel like I deserve positive points
No.
here.
Okay.
'Cause mine is guaranteed to work.
You can't
Okay.
just say guaranteed to work and then
I'm 100% effective.
You keep saying this word. I don't think you know
Guaranteed.
what it means.
Yeah.
I know exactly. Look, there's a chance your kid ignores all of your teachings and ignores all the positive influence, and they're still a shithead. My kid's a robot now. They legally can't deny me. They will do whatever I say because they're programmed to do that. I have won.
Wow.
The question was not, is it ethical? The question is, how do you do it?
Yeah, what I would do is remove the distractions. Like if you remove the electronics, you give them, you make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard, and you get them to focus on the thing with the reward of the return of the electronics at the end. So I have to give Wyatt gets plus 5,000, so he's back to back to even.
See that even a child abuser can get in the good graces.
Yeah.
I'll give Sengoku another 10 points, and Oz, you're gonna get negative 2,000.
Of course.
Wait. Me beating the
Yeah.
ever-living shit out of my child is worth
You're right,
5,000.
you're right.
Turning my
Mean
child into a
spirit. I was
machine
mixing my
spirit
kid.
You're
from
right.
Warhammer 40k is worth 2,000.
You're right. Negative 10,000.
I want it to be known that what Skye said did not work on me. My mom took my shit, and I still just sat there and didn't do fucking nothing.
Well, see, then that's defiance. That's not distraction.
Yeah, no, you're right. She should have just killed you and got a robot.
And you know what? If she did it like I said, where like it's like I'm a brain looking through the eyes of a robot, but I can't do anything in 10 years, and then put me back in my body, I'd just be thankful to be back in my body. I wouldn't get distracted by shit.
Oh yeah, there's
Wow.
definitely no trauma attached to that at all.
There was not a moral ethic attached to this question. If you had said, how do you morally do this, I would have given a different answer. But you said, how do you do this?
But do I have to
You're
add
saying
moral to
morally,
every single
you have
one?
to. Yeah, it sounds like you have to be moral on every single fucking question, which
That
is
means
fair. I
there's no
also
room
went
for
non-morally,
comedy
but
in
No,
this situation.
It's not. It's not
I
about.
feel fucked.
It's not about morality. It's about the effectiveness of the technique. If you did something
Mine is
monstrous,
the most
no,
effective.
no, you're making like a sociopath. You're brewing.
And they're focused.
You're brewing like a some sort of android Dahmer is what you're making.
If you ask the 3 kids, or the 4 kids in the scenario, who is the most focused, the one who was a robot for 10 years is clearly the most focused.
Wow.
He's not a kid.
focused on being a fucking killer
That dude
trying
is
to
trying
get back the
focused.
feeling that he had lost for 10 years.
He's not
The
a kid.
sensations that you had deprived him of.
What's the question? Make them a good person or make them focused? Ask yourself that.
No, but that's like saying my kid isn't good
Wow.
at sports. We'll just replace him with a mech. You know, It's
Exactly.
like, that's not
That
a
works
solution.
too.
No, that's not a solution.
My kid isn't good at sports. I replace him with a clone of someone who's good at sports. That fixes the problem. And then we swap the brains.
Oh no.
Every answer from this point on is just going to be swapping brains for us.
Well,
It
okay.
works. It is effective.
Okay, well then this is gonna test that because the next one is my two kids are always hitting each other. What can I do about it?
I mean, swapping the brains
Us?
would be pretty effective.
Migoki, you're going first on this. Oh, am I going first? Do you
You're
want me
going
to?
first. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
All right. So there's this movie called Human Centipede.
Oh
How do you decide which one's asked, like, which one's at the back, though?
They're
Dead
both at the
silence.
back.
That
no! That it was in the front.
they're like one of those, what do they call the snake eating its own tail? Like the Ouroboros or
Yep.
whatever?
Close, yeah. Wow.
Human Ouroboros.
No, your kids are hitting each other. You turn that into an effective, release for frustrations. You teach them how to, sportsman-like box, or I think sportsman-like boxing is the best version of that, because you don't want to teach them MMA. And then once they, they spend a little while doing that, they take out their frustrations, and they become closer, they become more friends, and they get really good at boxing. And then you start selling tickets, right?
Mhm.
Child
You're doing
boxing.
so well.
Yeah.
Child boxing. And you know what? They get to release their frustrations by beating the shit out of each other. I make a little extra money. I can buy them extra toys. They hit each other less.
Oh, yeah.
They make an allowance from boxing each other. I've taught them how to have a job. I've given them a new passion.
Wow.
I'm assuming, to expand upon the question, it's how do you get your kids to stop hitting each other? Not how do you monetize them hitting each other?
Well, I mean, technically the question was, what can I do about it?
Oh, fair. No, that's Oz, you're in the clear. Yeah, 100% then.
I'm fucking a billion points from this because
Yeah.
I just gave my kids a job
Yeah.
that they love. I
You
taught
know?
them how to correctly hit each other. They're gonna grow closer because of it, like a friendly sparring, like Goku and Vegeta. My kids are only gonna get stronger and stronger, and this solves the first question too, because now that no one can bully them. And it solves the second question because they're focused on boxing, and then I take their
Oh.
brains and I.
Oh, goodness.
To be fair, they still would have a bully, and it's their sibling.
No, they wouldn't. That's the great thing about boxing. It's a great little way to bond. It says
It's
you
true.
can't always win, you can't always lose. There'll be give and take. You know.
Yeah, I remember how
Yeah.
close Mike Tyson was with all the guys he bit the ear off of,
Well, they weren't childhood boxers. They
Yeah.
would start boxing and then they would
Yeah, well, and
the
that's-
bond would form.
That's a special case, because, I mean...
Mike
a
Tyson's
look-
a psychopath.
Little
Please don't
bit.
bite my ear off.
Oh, like all of your children.
My kids are gonna grow up to be the best bunch of this group. I didn't take their electronics. I taught them good outlets for their
No.
frustration.
You didn't take their electronics, you turned them into electronics.
Yeah.
You're damn right. And you know what? One day I'll flip that switch and give my kid control of that robot body, and that kid will never be happier. Be
All right,
solely focused on being a robot.
Wyatt, what's your answer?
So first, I would construct a small board that would either go into the hallway or into the kitchen. Upon it, I will have little cubbies. Probably just made from a little bit of Velcro or something. And above it, at the top of it, it would say money board. And so either they are old enough to, I could actually make it a money incentive, or it will be little playbucks. And this goes, of course, for them fighting, but this goes towards any time that they are working together or spending time having fun together, they gain a quote-unquote money buck, a false currency that I, basically just develop for them. And so I incentivize the time that they cooperate, And then for the time that they do bad things against each other, they lose money bucks. And what this would do is each of these can be cashed in for time playing on the computer or time getting to go. They can store them up for actual money. You know, if you can save up 50 money bucks, you will get 5 actual dollars. And if they're young, if they're older, like, high school, age, similar concept, but I'm using a high, not necessarily just money, but it still equates to time able to do things. But the things that we can do, because by this point I may have a bit more financial capacity, it would mean we could go on trips to things, and whoever has the most for that month can spend them for, okay, what trip are we going this time? And each time they hit each other, each time they cause a pain towards each other, each time they kick the other off of a video game system without working it out to a way that they can both handle things, that's money off of them that is taken away fully and then replenished whenever they are doing actions I deem acceptable.
So bribery.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
They understand the base. Half the time is bribery with kids.
It is. It's true.
I mean, you're doing the same thing when you give a kid a fucking lollipop to get something done. So why not have it be literal?
Yeah. What about you, Sengoku?
Well, apart from child labor and bribery, that leaves the only logical solution is nerf your kids. So you just take some nice foam and strap it to their little paws, and then just let them go to town. No harm, no foul.
Oh, my idea?
No, your idea is child boxing.
You take some foam, you strap it around their hand, and you let them
No.
punch each other. Kind of like boxing?
That's not what boxing is.
That
You know
is
Some
it's
padding, you
You
strap it
know
around their
that's-
hands, and you
no.
let them punch each other.
nothing about a boxing glove is like a nerf. Okay, if you've
I
ever
mean, it
have
is
you-
very much so a nerf.
if
It's
you've-
true.
No, it doesn't. It's a
There's
boxing.
padding.
Yeah, I'm talking about putting like giant foam finger, foam fingers on their hands, so that it's like getting hit with like a soft pillow, like a downy, not downy. Those things can actually like compact pretty good, but like a memory foam type of soft material, so that it's nerfing the children's ability to hurt each other.
It just
then-
sounds like mine with separate steps.
I mean,
It's
You're not solving
it's-
anything. You're not giving them a hobby. You're not giving them work. You're not giving them a focus. They're not going to bond from this because they're still hitting each other. Eventually, they're just going to rip the foam off and still hit each other.
no, it's like when a bully finds it's ineffective, they'll stop bullying. In the same sense, if they're wailing on each other, they're going to realize, like, I'm not hurting them. They're not hurting me. This is a completely useless waste of time. Whereas instead of turning it into child labor where you're encouraging them to actually fight each other more, this is taking all of the incentive out. Why would you like expend all this energy into hurting someone and it have zero effect?
What are you going to do when they kick each other? Or headbutt each other?
It's Chris,
Or body slam
I
each
didn't
other?
nerf them. They're fully nerfed.
You're going to encase that. You're going to mummify them in foam.
Yeah, do what needs to be done. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, they'll be dressed up like mascots whenever they're together.
Oh man.
So mine was the most effective.
In his unbiased opinion.
Yeah, my mom once sent my 2 older brothers, like, because they would constantly be at each other's throats, and she once gave each of them a wooden spoon, shoved them in the garage, and said, "Don't come back until someone's bleeding." and immediately my second oldest brother was the one, even though he was bigger and stronger than my older brother, he didn't really realize it at the time. He was like, no, we'll stop fighting. But yeah, it was brutal. Like the thing, because she was just tired of it. So I
They should
mean,
have made shivs out of them.
so I wouldn't recommend that necessarily, nor would she. I think Wyatt's answer was pretty good. Like when I would fight with my siblings, my mom would ground us from each other, and then eventually we would always end up, she'd find us like, talking, from the window of each room, or passing notes to each other. Like, like it There's a bit of psychology in there. So I think I'll give Oz plus 5,000 points.
Hell yeah.
I'll give Wyatt 50 points, and I'll give Sengoku another plus 10.
Am I in the lead?
No.
No.
Wait, you gave me
You're
minus.
still
Still 5,000 behind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gave me minus 10,000.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but I mean, you're not out of the race because
Mm,
the points are made up and they don't matter. But
it's fair.
Just like the children in this mythical perspective.
I'm gonna have a kid and I'm gonna raise him exactly.
Oh damn. Okay, so
I
how
couldn't
about
if
this
I
one?
wanted to.
I'll go ahead and call social services in advance.
So, how about this one?
Hmm.
My children have low self-esteem. How can I change that? I think we should start with Sengoku.
Okay, hear me out. Cocaine.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
no.
Does that help? I know what? I can't deny it. I can't. The science isn't there to disprove it.
No, while that would be extremely effective, it's short-lived, and then they become just real scumbag human beings. So in the long run, it wouldn't pay off. You know, not to mention, I'm not made of money. So what you got to do is you got to find out what what they're good at. Everybody's good at something, and you got to really find. It might not be something popular, it might be something real lame. Like making stupid videos on the internet, but it might be. You just got to find that one thing that they're good at and really encourage that and boost them up on that. And then from that point, when they feel confident in that, you encourage them to try different things, really, really branch out, try some child boxing, try try the various other things, Have you made a robot out of your siblings? Really encourage them to take what the confidence they gain from that one small thing. It could be something like being like a DM or something. You feel confident in that, and then you take that and use that for public speaking. It's you got to use the tools you have to branch out and try new things with, or cocaine,
Or cooking.
You take their brain.
real original.
You sit them down and you have a talk with them, and this is 100% stolen for someone, so But most parroting it's never original. You just take it from someone else.
Exactly.
You sit them down and you look at them, and I understand you're feeling not great about yourself, but have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus? Your body is made up of millions of cells that are constantly dying and getting replaced, and really we don't even know if you're the same person or not. It's really up in the air, kind of scientific quandary. Don't really know what's going on. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually matter. Much like everything else in the insignificant universe that we live in, nothing super matters. So whatever you're feeling right now, it's just a chemical reaction in your body that we could try and fix with medication, or we could like your uncle said, we could help you pursue the things that you enjoy. Obviously, pursuing passions that you enjoy will encourage people who enjoy those passions to follow you if you enjoy them. But it's important not to get caught up on these things because they don't actually matter. But if you're still feeling down, I've got this really, really good show. It's called Gurren Lagann.
Oh God.
This will fix all of your problems,
Mm,
and then I will hand it to my kid.
I see.
Nothing helps self-consciousness but like existential crisis.
Yeah, like nihilism.
Look, if everything doesn't matter, then the self-consciousness doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
Exactly.
Except Gurren Lagann, apparently.
That's correct. Nothing matters except Gurren Lagann. This universe doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So pierce the heavens and show them what you're made of.
Right, yeah.
Wyatt, what's your answer?
Jesus, that a child having to deal with existential crisis, that's pretty great.
Better than I'm learning about God.
If my kid is dealing with self-esteem issues, Settle down. We'll ask what things specifically are bringing them down, and then I'll ask them if they would be interested in coming with me. And then I will take them to a place where I know other people who have a lot of self-esteem issues are located. Of course, normally I would run my kid through some Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, build it up that way, but this seems like a very serious thing. So I take him to go look at some LARPers, and if that doesn't push them either to join in LARPing or makes them laugh at how fucking wild this whole thing is, my kids will either want to be the one doing the swinging of the sword or the one laughing at them, and in either case, they're building up that self-confidence looking at these people. So because either they're joining me and watching their dad running out there looking like a complete idiot, or they're having fun laughing at this goober who's getting hit in the face with a foam sword. Either route, my kid will start developing that sensation that they have value, because look at all these losers who literally have nothing, and at least they can have fun doing something absolutely stupid. Finding value in something, or laughing at it, or not even wanting to join. But, we'd at least start here, finding their niche.
Fair enough.
So the crux of all of ours, except for mine, because I have to teach them that nothing matters, is finding your niche.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the important part is one, I would let them know, look, when I was young, I also had confidence issues. I also, got down on myself. I also had anxiety and all that. So you're not alone in that. What you're feeling is normal, and you're not always going to feel like that.
I mean, I'm a sexy god.
And then, yeah, like teaching them, finding the thing that they're good at, encouraging them to explore new options and new things. And then if there's something about them that they don't like, it's okay if there is an aspect of you that you feel like you need to work on, and that is okay too. So yeah.
And I mean, worst case scenario, there's Coke, so always fall back on that,
So we have cocaine,
There's weed,
nihilism, and
well,
okay.
my main answer wasn't cocaine. I just
True.
gave it. That is an escape route. That's a safety chute you can pull if all else fails.
And you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's give Oz another 3,000 points. So he is now only negative 2,000.
Mhm.
We're gonna give Wyatt 25 points, and we'll give Sengoku 50 points. So I think Sengoku's still in the lead.
You may be in the lead,
I'm
but my
currently in
last
the
two
lead.
Are you?
answers have destroyed you.
Yeah, because I meant 70 and he said 75.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
coming. The trend stays. I'm making thousands of points an answer. My answers are killing it.
Oh, here's one. What do I do if my children are bullies?
Who you asking?
Sorry. Let's start with Wyatt.
Reinforce their choices. It's better to be on top than be fucking pathetic.
Is that
Oh,
your
you
whole
thought
answer?
no, I'm done. I raise winners, okay?
Oz.
I would have a sit down with the kid. I'd figure out what's causing him to bully, why he thinks that's okay, and I'm trying every fiber of my being to not say I beat the shit out of my kid. And then I would teach him more positive things to do, like if you're frustrated, maybe instead of bullying the kid, talk to him. Try and introduce him to something you like, and if he doesn't enjoy that thing, he's like I told you last time, everything in the universe doesn't actually matter. Everything is in constant flux. You can bully that kid for all of your life, and chances are he might become a better person than you, or you could waste your time in high school instead of chasing your dreams. You're bullying a kid. What does that make you? I think that turns you into a loser.
But if nothing
And I
matters,
didn't raise no loser, did I?
but if nothing matters, then why does bullying matter?
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
So why can't they bully?
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
would you do
Dad,
something
it
that
makes
doesn't
them
matter?
happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if bullying makes you happy, we should find a better outlet for what about bullying makes you happy. If it's
Okay, so
You
there's
should
this thing
join the
called
military to bully
internet.
other people.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the internet, and there's this thing called a troll.
Maybe we start your YouTube channel and you become a really disliked critic,
Mm-hmm.
No.
and we can pick up your old boxing habit.
And we're
Get
back
you
to
into
finding
that.
what you're good at.
Yeah. It's more about finding positive outlets. Why is he bullying? What's the underlying problem? Am I doing something wrong? Is someone bullying him so he's taking that frustration somewhere else? Why does he like that? Why does he think bullying is good? Is the person egging him on by being a narcissistic cunt?
It's
There's a
not.
lot of reasons that someone could, like, bullying could happen.
Yeah.
I want to find the underlying reason and fix that. I don't want to,
Yeah.
reprimand my kid, immediately, because sometimes it is just acting out.
Hmm. What about you, Sengoku?
Well, some bloodlines are just weak.
Now we're cooking.
No, but in actuality, the solution is
No, cook. Don't stop now.
well, that's just a simple answer. That's just the realities. But no,
The bloodlines are weak and deserve it.
no. But in reality, it's the previous question, right? It's a bully is a bully because they're self-conscious. No one's just a super self-assured person and then picks on other people. So you don't address that they are bullying. You address why they are. It's like, what makes you feel so small that you have to go out and do this, and that's the real issue, right? Like, they clearly are trying to impress someone, or they feel small about themselves. So you tackle the self-esteem issue, and that's how you resolve the bullying. Because yeah, like, if you feel small, you got to make the people with the weak bloodlines feel smaller. So just be confident that you're not Celtic. So I mean, you got a good life.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
He just maligned our people. It's okay.
I mean, you could be Gauls. I mean,
Oh.
there's an upside.
That's true. We could be fucking Romans.
Ugh. Oh no! I can hear the murderous rage.
What kind of hairy-footed nightmares did they evolve into?
Coming from the Hobbit, I don't really.
Hey, my feet are less hairy than the rest of my body. That's probably because I wear socks and shoes all the time, though.
Yeah,
if I didn't, I'd have super hairy feet.
You've chafed your foot hair away.
But my foot hair is from the lands of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
where you need foot hair to stop the grass from rubbing you too raw. You guys just have foot hair because you wanted it.
See, this is why we built a wall.
We have foot hair because our ancestors found it attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I think my answer would be, like, I raised my kids from when they were just old enough to understand reason. I would
Why'd you
teach
start
them.
raising them then? What the fuck?
They were on their own until then.
So you haven't raised them yet, is what you're saying?
Oh no. No, yeah, it's from 18 months to 2 years. Like, they can communicate, they can understand, like, cause and effect. And what I would teach them is, how do you think your behavior made someone else feel? And how would you feel if that was done to you? And so their whole lives, I have taught them empathy and to think of their actions in relation to how it's going to impact the people around them. And I mean, they're pretty empathetic kids, so they're, I know it works to an extent.
I was gonna say, I would argue you almost can't teach empathy. You can set the groundwork for it, but I feel like that's something that either people are, like, empathic enough to actually, like, read other people and understand the effect that their actions take, or they just can't.
Also,
Yeah.
the chance that your kid is just born an asshole and they enjoy making someone feel that way.
Mhm.
You know, but yeah. So yeah, that's my answer. Let's see. I think Wyatt gets what was. I'm trying to remember what everyone's detailed answers were.
He was a monster this time.
I think that's good. So I'll give him plus 25.
Is that 100?
And then Sengoku, what was your answer? It was
to build up their self-esteem, because that is
Ah.
the core of all bullies' problems.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that some bloodlines are weak, so don't pick on the lessers.
All right, I'm gonna give you plus 30 so that you guys have 100. And then Oz, what was your
Mhm.
answer again?
Oh my god.
Just go.
God, that was so long ago. You can't ask the ADHD person. It was
I
to
am also
remind them that
ADHD.
nothing really matters. Find the underlying problem and fix that.
Mm-mm. Okay, we'll bring you back up to 0. So plus
Thanks.
2,000.
My answer was still the best one. I got the most points.
You were in the deepest, darkest hole for murdering your child.
I didn't murder him. He's just on ice.
Oh, do we have time for one more or 2 more?
One more.
Okay.
I got 1 or 2 more, depending on how fast the next one goes.
Okay. I love my children, but sometimes I'm not having it because they're driving me crazy. Is that normal?
No.
So this is a question about you as a parent. Is it okay to be frustrated with your kids when they are not behaving the way that they should? Let's start with Sengoku.
Definitively. I mean, you're a human being, right? You're the one, like, you're just who you were, plus like a kid. And kids can get in your skin more than anyone else because they're just selfish little monsters, from your loins, So, and then that's why there's that, little component that makes you love them, so you don't do physical harm upon them, because they will push all of your buttons. They will drive you absolutely up the wall, and it's only your undying love for them that keeps you tolerating their bullshit. So it's completely normal to a lot of people don't even like their kids; they just love them unconditionally. So it's completely normal to have those feelings, to not be happy with them. You just have to stay your hand, or else, I don't know, kill them and replace them with a robot. I guess is the alternative.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it works,
Yeah.
Can confirm. I mean, legally I can't, but
Mhm.
I can confirm.
Yeah, I mean, good answer. Good answer. Wyatt, what's your answer?
It is perfectly natural. We have a completely different understanding of this world as adults. Not just as adults, but having lived the life that I have lived. And taking care of other people's children for most of my life and most of my job history has been taking care of other people's kids. And it is perfectly natural to get annoyed by your children when they're being bad. Because you understand what the action is supposed to be. They are actively learning right and wrong. Some people think, oh, I taught my kids right and wrong by the age of like 10. And I'm like, no, it's a progressive thing. They're always learning. Hell, I still, at my age, sometimes I'm figuring what is right and wrong in a situation. Because, we're always changing in the rules. Some people move the fence post, but in other cases, we find new situations that we haven't found ourselves in before. And these kids have never had to deal with that situation. I cannot relate to a child very easily. Talking to someone my age with my sensibilities with somebody, and then someone who's older than me, we can have these conversations that you just can't have with a kid. And so when they're making these terrible decisions, you can say why they're doing it wrong, but they won't fully understand until the time has come when you can really they've lived enough of life experience to have it be constantly put into them that this is how we're supposed to handle this situation. Sometimes they still just go against what comes naturally. So I just feel that it's perfectly natural to be upset with your kids. Sometimes kids can just be assholes, and that is okay.
Good answer. Oz.
I think it's unreasonable to be upset with your kids because they're learning the world. I think your frustration should be fleeting before you have a conversation with your kid about why that is wrong. I think it should be, a situation where you're at you're at a McDonald's and your kid, spills their drink and it's been a long day for you already. You got fired, the dog died, and everything happens. Your kid spills your drink, and that moment where you just want to snap should go just as fast as it came. And you give your kid some paper towels and you kneel down and you help him clean up his mess because he's learning, and there's no reason that you should be frustrated if he doesn't know what he's doing is wrong. And sometimes they do know what they're doing is wrong, and you need to talk to them about it because communication is the most important part of any relationship. Period. Kid, parent, child, man, wife, man, two ducks,
Okay, we're good on the relationship.
7 dwarves and a whore.
Whoa.
No. Communication is the most important part, and if the kid doesn't know what he's doing is wrong, then you shouldn't be able to get mad.
Yeah, I think
know?
I think you guys are giving them too much credit, though. I think you guys are saying that the kids don't know what's wrong.
No, I acknowledge that they could know what's
Both
wrong.
acknowledge that they can know when they're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, but sometimes they're just testing boundaries. They're being little shits.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and you shouldn't get mad at them. You should smile and sit them down and say, "Hey, that wasn't okay. That's really disrupting everything in the house. You don't want this or that to happen. I've got stuff to do. Why don't we get you some boxing gloves? We'll go get your cousin. We'll get you two in the ring." Incentivize them to chase their dreams instead of tormenting people who don't deserve it. Instead of causing problems, they should, take that extra energy and push it into something that they want to do. And if they want to, run around, take them to a track. If they want to, break stuff, I can't think of a job for that, but I'm sure there's one out there. Maybe like a construction guy or a demolitionist. I think there's always a positive element of things, and it's important to communicate with your kid to
But do you think
make sure
do you think it's reasonable to feel anger, though?
in short bursts. I think like for longer than a couple seconds is unreasonable. It's like if you walk into your house and your dog has taken a trash bag and strewn it across the entire house. You can be mad, but you can't be mad because the dog didn't know any better. It was just, it smelled something in the trash bag and it was trying to get at it. So you clean up the mess. You work on teaching your dog that wasn't okay.
But a child isn't a dog.
Yeah,
They're
close
basically
enough.
the same thing. A child would do the exact same thing. They saw you throw away something shiny in the trash can. They take the trash, they strew it across the house, and you can be mad, but you can't be mad because they didn't know any better. They wanted that thing, and they didn't know they weren't allowed into the trash can.
See,
Or if they did, you just tell them, "Hey,
I think
can't do this."
I disagree with your words, but I think I agree with your, the intention, because I feel like I think it's perfectly normal to be mad. You can be upset for a very long time if you're broke, and your kid just decides like they're going to test boundaries and shatters your cell phone that you need. It's okay to be mad for a long time, but it's not okay to take it out on the kid. And those are two fundamentally different things, right? So I think that's what you're talking about, right? Or are you just saying that it's unreasonable to be mad? Like, a kid smashes your phone and then you have to, the next day you're at the mall buying a replacement for the phone that was smashed. You're saying that you wouldn't be pissed off at the mall buying your new phone with money you don't have? Of course you'd be upset, but you don't yell at your kid for it. That's the difference, right? You don't berate them for it.
Yeah, you can be mad, but you can't be mad.
Right. That's what I mean. Is your words suck, but I think you're your
My words
idea.
are
You can be
flawless.
upset, but you can't be furious.
you can't lash, you can't react, because it's like there's emotional anger, and then there's like, action anger. Like, you know
The
what I
most
mean?
important part of this is that you do communicate with your kid. You don't just, sit around and like fester in your anger, and you stay mad all the time because your kid did this or is continually doing this. You have to talk with your kids so they know that they can't do that, or they can't, this is upsetting you. As emotionally unstable as kids are, we're the same as them, just older. We may have a little bit more control over our emotions, but we need, they're not idiots.
What you
They are
do,
learning just as much as we are, and it's important to teach them
is you punch a
kindness.
hole in the drywall right beside their head, because it's not technically abuse,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it gets the message across.
Oh no!
You call them their brother, which you put into a robot, and you
Yeah.
remind them what happens if they don't behave.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I think that's the domestic abuser's guide
This
to
is-
parenting.
This has gone off the rails. Yeah, I think
I hire the neighbor kid to come over and beat the shit out of my son.
you bribe the neighbor kid to be a bully so that your kid won't be a bully.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it is 100% normal to get frustrated with your kids. It is even normal to sometimes not like them, because they are little sociopaths. They are pushing your buttons on purpose. They know your buttons. And so yeah, it's, if you get frustrated, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you are failing as a parent. It just means that that it's just a little trying at the moment. So yeah, people shouldn't beat themselves up for not having a stellar time as a parent all the time. Like I have scrubbed bodily fluids out of the carpet with nothing but wet wipes and my own tears. Like it's not always fun. Like there are the moments that are fun, but it's not always fun. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I don't know. I don't know who should win.
I think we all know who should win.
Me.
No.
Yeah. You all had nightmare answers and you all had good answers. So I
Sorry,
think
all of mine were bangers. I don't know. Nightmare. I don't know what you're talking about. All of mine worked and solved the problem 100% of the time, 100% effective.
Oh. Yeah, I think Sengoku wins.
Oh.
He had the fewest answers that will haunt my nightmares.
I'm your
No,
father
but-
now. I'm your father now. Take this cocaine.
Oh, I'll call you daddy. I'll call you daddy, Sengoku. And then I'll call child protective on you.
Yeah.
You beat the shit out of us in gang beats.
You threw me off a building.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for joining us for this kind of unkind podcast. I am Skye, and this is Oz and Sengoku Jedi and Wyatt. And
You forgot who
I
you were
did.
there for a second.
Yeah. Well, I was waffling
Well,
between saying I have been your host, but I mean, we don't really do that.
Well,
Much.
you got it wrong, first off. I'm Skye. You're Sengoku.
Oh, do you
Wyatt.
know? Uh-huh. And Wyatt is Oz.
Mhm.
But Oz is Wyatt. Whoa.
I am one with everyone. I am God.
It's true. It's
Remember
true.
that.
You are inside all of us.
I am infallible and always erect.
Yes, the classic two things God always is.
Infallible and erect.
Yeah.
The orgy is later.
Mhm.
But
Always.
oh, thanks for joining us, everyone. Good night.
Awkward goodbye.
Awkward goodbye.
Be kind.